What's up, WrestleScope family? Before we dive into today's absolute madness, make sure you smash that like button and subscribe, because what I'm about to tell you is going to make your blood boil, your jaw drop, and your fingers fly to that comment section faster than a Roman Reigns spear. So, Genome Roscoe, yeah, that Genome Roscoe, just went on record saying he wants to see Oba Femi, the NXT champion, destroy Brock Lesnar in 6 seconds at WrestleMania. 6 seconds. Not 6 minutes, not in a competitive back-and-forth classic, 6 seconds. Now, before half of you lose your minds in the comments, and trust me, I know you're already typing, hear me out, because this isn't just some hot take for clicks. This is about the future of professional wrestling, the legacy of part-timers, and whether WWE has the guts to do what needs to be done to save this company from becoming a retirement home for legends who refuse to pass the torch. And yeah, I'm going there today. Let's set the stage here, people. Oba Femi is not just another NXT call-up waiting to happen. This man is a specimen, 6'5", 270 of pure, unadulterated dominance. He's been running through NXT like a freight train through a paper wall, and the North American Championship? That's just a stepping stone for this absolute unit. But Brock Lesnar? Oh, Brock Lesnar is the beast incarnate, the conqueror, the one who broke the streak, the man who made grown adults believe in legitimate combat sports crossover appeal. Brock is a legend, and I'm not here to diminish that. But here's where Genome Roscoe's take becomes genius and controversial as hell. Think about it. When was the last time Brock Lesnar put someone over in a way that actually mattered? And I don't mean those matches where he loses after 30 German suplexes and 17 F5s. I mean a destructive, passing of the torch, career-defining moment where someone emerges as the next big thing. Wait. Exactly. Now, some of you are screaming at your screens right now, but what about Roman? What about Drew? What about... Stop. Those were competitive matches. Those were long-form storytelling battles, where Brock got his stuff in, looked strong, and eventually lost. That's not what we're talking about here. We're talking about Goldberg versus Brock Lesnar at Survivor Series 2016. Remember that? Remember when Goldberg annihilated Brock in 1 minute and 26 seconds? The entire wrestling world exploded. Social media went nuclear. Casual fans who hadn't watched wrestling in years suddenly tuned back in because something shocking happened. That's the magic Roscoe is talking about, but with a crucial difference. This time, it would actually build the future, instead of just pop a rating for a 50-year-old nostalgia act. Let me paint you a picture. WrestleMania, the biggest stage of them all. The lights go down. Brock Lesnar's music hits. The Beast walks to the ring with Paul Heyman, and the crowd is electric, because love him or hate him, Brock is money. Then, boom. Oba Femi's music hits for the first time on the main roster WrestleMania stage. This monster walks out, and the younger fans, the ones who've been following NXT, the ones who know, they're losing their minds. But the casual fans, they're thinking, who the hell is this guy, and why is he challenging Brock Lesnar? The bell rings. Heyman's on the outside, looking confident. Brock smirking. Classic Brock. Oba doesn't move. He just stares. Brock goes for the lockup. Boom. Oba catches him with a devastating lariat that turns Brock inside out. Brock's down. The crowd is stunned. Brock tries to get up. Boom. The most destructive powerbomb you've ever seen. Oba covers. 1, 2, 3. 6 seconds. New star. Born. Now, I know what half of you are thinking. That would bury Brock. That would destroy his credibility. That's disrespectful to everything he's accomplished. And to that I say, so what? Listen, I love Brock Lesnar as much as the next wrestling fan, but let's be real here. Brock is a part-timer who shows up 10 times a year, collects his massive paycheck, and leaves. He doesn't need protecting anymore. His legacy is cemented. He's a first-ballot Hall of Famer. He's got nothing left to prove. But you know who does need that moment? The WWE roster, the future, the guys who are there every single week grinding it out, putting their bodies on the line and trying to build the next generation of stars. WWE has a problem for years, and I'm going to say this loud for the people in the back. They don't know how to create stars anymore. They rely on legends, part-timers, and the same 5 guys at the top, while everyone else fights for scraps on the mid-card. You want to know why AEW was such a threat when it first started? Because they were building new stars. They were taking chances. They were making people care about wrestlers they'd never heard of before. WWE has gotten lazy. They book these legends in comparative matches because they're scared, terrified that if the legend loses too quickly, the fans will revolt. But you know what? The fans are already revolting because they're bored of seeing the same matches with the same outcomes and the same protected stars who never put anyone over in a meaningful way. Goldberg squashing Brock worked because it was shocking. It was unexpected. It made people feel something. And in this era of predictable paint-by-numbers booking, that's what wrestling desperately needs. Imagine the mainstream attention. Imagine the social media clips. Imagine Stephen A. Smith talking about it on First Take.
Did you see that rookie destroy Brock Lesnar in 6 seconds? Who is this Oba Femi guy? That's how you create a megastar in 2025. But here's the thing, and this is where it gets really interesting. WWE won't do it. You know why? Because they're cowards. Because they're more concerned with protecting the mystique of their past than investing in their future. Because Vince, oh wait, Triple H is in charge now, but let's be honest, the philosophy hasn't changed that much. They're still scared to pull the trigger on truly shocking moments that can't be undone. Remember when Brock broke the streak? People hated it at first. They were angry. They felt betrayed. But you know what? 10 years later, it's one of the most iconic moments in WrestleMania history. Sometimes you have to make fans uncomfortable to create something truly special. And let's address the elephant in the room. Is Oba Femi ready for this moment? Hell yes, he is. This man has the look, the presence, the in-ring ability, and most importantly, the it factor that you cannot teach. He's been booked like an absolute monster in NXT, and unlike some call-ups who get lost in the shuffle, Oba has that rare combination of size, athleticism, and charisma that translates immediately to the main roster. Plus, and this is crucial, he's young. He's got decades ahead of him to build on this moment. This isn't like when they fed guys to Goldberg who then disappeared afterward. This would be the beginning of Oba's main roster run, not a random mid-card match. Look, I get it. Some of you are traditionalists. You think matches should be competitive. You think legends should be respected. You think everybody should get their stuff in and shake hands afterward. But wrestling isn't about what's respectful. It's about what works. It's about creating moments. It's about making stars. And if WWE actually had the guts to have Oba Femi demolish Brock Lesnar in 6 seconds at WrestleMania, it would be the most talked about moment in wrestling this decade. So is Gino Marusco crazy for suggesting this? Or is he the only one brave enough to say what we're all thinking? WWE needs to take risks. They need to build stars. They need to stop treating their legends like they're made of glass and start using them to elevate the next generation in meaningful, impactful ways. Would Brock losing in 6 seconds hurt his legacy? Maybe for a week. But you know what would really hurt wrestling? Another 10 years of the same old part-timers taking up main event spots while incredible talents like Oba Femi are stuck waiting for their moment that never comes. The clock is ticking, Triple H. The roster is stacked with talent. The fans are hungry for something new, and Oba Femi is right there, ready to be the next big thing. All you have to do is pull the trigger. 6 seconds. That's all it takes to change everything. All right, WrestleScope family, I know you've got opinions on this one. Do you think Oba Femi should destroy Brock in 6 seconds, or am I completely insane? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. I'm reading every single one, and trust me, I will respond to the spiciest takes. If you enjoyed this video and want more wrestling content that actually challenges the status quo instead of just repeating the same talking points, smash that like button, hit subscribe, and ring that notification bell so you never miss when we drop these truth bombs. Share this video with your wrestling friends who need to hear this take, and let's get a conversation going about what WWE really needs to do to secure its future. I'm your host, and this has been WrestleScope. Until next time, keep watching, keep debating, and never stop demanding better from the wrestling we love.